Morning to the people on the portal, my little family. I'm gonna get to everyone's chat messages. So just some new people. Awesome. We have people from all over the world. Hey Kim, what's up? We have people from New Zealand. That's awesome. PM missed your NSD first entry but got the second entry after TP1. I like the arrows, makes it easy to read the charts. Great week for us. Awesome. USD CAD keeps knocking on the door at 1.324, but it can't get through. We'll talk about USD CAD. Swiss yen looks interesting as long as if the 1 hour closes above 112,600. So a lot of awesome messages. You can see how active this chat is. Taking a short on Aussie USD. I think that's good actually. So yeah, we'll talk about this. UK has their Brexit today. I guess it's gonna be very wild with the pound. Fake out NSD USD. NSD USD sure knows how to take its time for real. Okay, so a lot of messages. Let me do some analysis and I'll get through them. So one of the trades we took this week, I think sometime on Wednesday, was USD CHF short. This was actually taken live during one of our London sessions. We don't have these too often, but when I'm in a good mood, I do have these sort of sessions. So if you're trying to see the analysis for this right here, you can watch it in this video. Pretty much all the winners we had this week were all done in 20 minutes, the analysis. So give that a watch. But a very simple trade that was taken live during the session. And a nice 52 pips gained from this. A very nice push down, a nice retrace, and another push down. We were expecting an intraday setup to end here, but the coronavirus has really given the Swiss franc some real strength, and we see this thing pushing down to our daily support at 0.96234. So pretty solid setup, very little drawdown. Maybe next week you can maybe look for longs from up here, or if you get a break below support, go even lower. We like to be transparent. We did have a loss and a half, and I'll tell you why a half. But the first one was gold. So we had a nice short idea mapped out, and if you guys know, my overall kind of bias for gold for 2020 is a long to 1800. But every so often it's been presenting these intraday shorts that I want to take because it's there. So for example, this one was a pretty good short. We had a nice little trading range that we did a fake out from, and then we closed back below. And I thought we were gonna go lower. We came pretty close to TP1, but not close enough, and so we did get stopped out. But for gold, we always go 50% of the regular position, just because it can be very volatile, and that way you don't lose as much. And plus, usually for our gold setups, we have a 2.0 risk reward or greater. So that 50% position can pay off when you hold the profits for a long time. But that was our first loss, and if you look, gold did come back up to this previous blue zone and then did provide another short during the week. But I made it a pact, kind of a promise, that I'm not going to be shorting gold for 2020. I'm going to stick to the long bias, and I don't want to trade against the trend, because even on the monthly and daily time frame, it's still a long. As you can see here, earlier this morning, it made a huge rally above this kind of resistance, and so this is the new highs for 2019, I believe. Oh, it's going to go to make new highs for 2019. So these are the highs for 2020, and it's pushing to go up there. Our overall target, which is not too far away, is 1800. So somewhere right here will be where we're going to be looking for. And this is based on the monthly time frame. If you go to the monthly, you can kind of see why we're targeting this region up here. Like I said before, we want January's monthly closure to be bullish, and this is not bad. It could be better, but who knows? By the end of the day, we could get some buyers to push it up. But it's a pretty decent bullish candle to take us to 1800. So that was one of our losses, and then another loss we had, which turned into a winner. And this was NSD CAD. So we took a short, but so it was somewhere down here. We took a short. But we made a retrace, and I thought we were going to go back up to these highs. So I got us out of the trade at 20 pips of loss. But then I found another entry, and then we made around 55 pips from it. So we're still in profit, and I do expect further downside for NSD CAD. It looks pretty good to me. I think right now it's just retesting this hourly support before going lower. If you look at the daily, you can see we have ways to go. So we're basically targeting this move down here, this sell-off, which we want to replicate on this end right here, all the way down to here. But first we need to get this daily level out the way. So a nice 50 pips there as well. We mainly shorted the NSD this week, so it was basically an NSD massacre. NSD USD, we were patiently waiting for this trade. So last week we got a mini short out of this trade to here, but then we wanted the rest of the move, which I do think will happen. It's just taking its merry old time, and the entry criteria was very simple for this trade. Trying to reset my chart. There you go. It was very simple, just a close, a bearish close below this hourly support. We got that. We even got a break, retest, rejection, and we haven't looked back since. A nice 50 or so there as well. And we're following nice price action, making retraces as we go along, which is definitely fine. So I'm happy to hold this over the weekend. We do have some Brexit stuff later, so I don't know, a bit risky. So just for today and for this situation, we'll just take profits today, and if we find a re-entry next week, awesome. But there will always be more trades. So because of the Brexit stuff happening later today, I don't want to hold anything over the weekend. But yeah, awesome trade. I think we do have all this to capture next week anyways, all these lows down here, so we'll get that as well. What else do we take? Oh, Euro NSD. So this was a pair recommendation. We tend to cover majors, but if someone has a pair recommendation, I'm more than happy to cover it. So so this was a nice intraday setup. Someone asked, I don't know who, but basically this was a setup that was given, I think, on Wednesday. We were shorting NSD, so we knew that Euro NSD had a potential to go long, and basically the entry was very simple: wait for a bullish closure above here, and we didn't get a bullish closure, so I said we can also get a retest back to this level. And if you look at the price action, you see this: we had this push, this retest, and then this big bullish candle. You can see how big this bullish candle is. It closes above these previous highs, and then we have a rally. So that was the trade idea, and you can see after this first take profit level, we went even higher. So I think Tommy just said he caught the second take profit, so from this to this, which is awesome, and it actually went even higher, and now it's reacting to one of our daily levels, so that's pretty awesome. You can see that daily candle, and that's a large amount of pips. You can see this whole move that we had, this trade idea. And so it's not always that the majors are covered. We do other pairs as well, but a significant amount of pips were made on this one. Almost 200. Actually 200 to the pip. So pretty awesome. And for pound NSD, this was a sneaky trade. So I actually thought that I was able to go to sleep, wake up, and enter. Because I thought the monetary policy that happened a few days ago was going to feel this. But what actually happened was, this was a pure technical move. So this candle right here, this bullish hammer, was created by itself at 4 a.m. This was created by itself, and then the news came, and it went to, it's almost at our final take profit. But yeah, we just simply massacred NSD because it's so weak. I don't know why. I mean, there's a few reasons, but it's really weak so far. It's kind of surprising. We're reaching like oversold levels, but pretty simple trade right here. I personally didn't get in on this trade. I was asleep, but I'm pretty sure people in New Zealand and Australia and Europe probably caught it. But another 200 pips. But I'm not going to count this one since I personally didn't get it. But right now our pip count's over 300. Considering this, it's but since I didn't get this trade, I guess I won't count it for my pip count. But pretty solid week, and I think that covers all the trade setups we took. I did give some other trade setups that didn't get validated, and I'll go over those. I think I should start checking out the chat. Did we not get stopped out of USD CHF before the big down move? No, we should not have. I don't know why I didn't. This was the entry. Let me actually pull up the signal. Maybe your broker, because some brokers get their spreads really wide at 5 o'clock. Let me go on my Telegram channel. 1 second. People on YouTube, I did not forget about you. Just give me a sec. So USD CHF entry was 0.9 0.7215. Stop loss was 0.97540. So this is actually 0.9747. So our stop loss is somewhere here. And then our first take profit was 0.97067. Okay, that's right here. And then our next take profit was 0.9870, which is right here. So we hit both. And then this pushed up. Back at entry. Close to entry. And then this moved down. I don't think we got stopped out of the trade. It shouldn't have hit your stop loss because it's all the way up here. Oh, I think you mean for TP1. Oh, yeah. So if you did that, then yeah. Like I said, I was asleep, so I only got this move. But yeah, if you got stopped out here, then yeah. So this would be actually 20 pips, I guess, 20 pips. Because if you move your stop loss from take profit 2 to take profit 1, then yeah. I got confused. My bad, Edward. Oil, Marco Gomes. I'll look at oil, guys. So let me just go back all the way to the chat so I can get everyone's messages. The session is finished. NSD sure knows how to take his time. Yup. Fake out pound USD. So let's take a look at pound USD, and we'll also go to daily effects and take a look at that. So yeah, pound USD. We wanted there was a potential for an intraday short, and yeah, I think Tommy said the arrows make it very clear. So this chart work was sent in, and all we wanted was a bearish closure below this level to take us lower. We didn't get that, so obviously the trade was not entered. And then overnight, pound USD went on a mission. It went on a mission, and I think it's the Brexit stuff that's really going to fuel this. But we'll see what happens. I think obviously it's going to make a rally now. Back up here. It probably has to. But for 2020, I think my overall long-term bias is still a short, and we're still well within that. The only time I might be reconsidering that is if we come up here above this previous 2019 high. Other than that, this could just be a candle that's reacting to the Brexit stuff. Like we had with Boris Johnson, for example. When Boris Johnson got elected, this was the candle right here. And we kind of came back to reality. So we do have this major resistance zone that's coming into play. And if we do break it and we come up somewhere here, then I might be thinking about changing my bias for 2020. But until then, I think a stronger dollar plus Brexit, which will ultimately be bad for the pound, I think pound USD will go lower. Yep, so it's going to get pretty wild. It's not wise to trade right now. Definitely not. But you could look for shorts up here, like I mentioned. That might be something on the table next week. Taking a short on Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, that's interesting. So yesterday we used like half the session talking about this pair, because if you guys recall from yesterday's session, pound Aussie has a really strong support here. 0.6697 or 0.67,000. You can see all these wicks, multiple wicks, like many months trying to break below. But I told you guys that we need that bearish body closure below to confirm we're going lower, and we do have some significant downside. And I think with the coronavirus stuff going on, this is the setup that will actually pay off and will not get faked out. So the 4-hour does need some work, but you can see it's a clear downtrend. No highs are being taken over. So next week on Monday, we're going to be looking for, you can see my alert is still here. Once we get a closure below 0.66768, where my alert is, we'll go short. We got an email saying that it's fine if I go slow during the sessions, so people can see the levels. I do send my chart work in Telegram, so I don't have to go slow, but I'm more than happy to go slower. So I'm just going to pause my my screen right now so people can understand. This level right here is 0.66768. If you get a bearish body closure next Monday, I don't really trade Sundays, but next Monday, we're definitely headed lower. And this is trading with the trend. That's the best way to trade, and we have a huge amount of pips to gain, so pretty awesome. But it looks good. Just this hour, this daily, this daily / weekly support is pretty major. You can see, and we do have to break that before we, enter that trade. So, awesome. Nope, too scary with the support. You read my mind. So Janny just said basically what I said. Nope, too scary with the support area. That's pretty. That's it. That's the support area. We gotta break it. Pound yen looks interesting as a long. If the 1 hour closes above, I share the chart on TradingView, but I haven't worked on how to do that yet. Pretty simple to use TradingView. Once you do your chart, just click publish and just fill out the title, a description, and you're good to go. And then you can send it here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Swiss yen is going long with the coronavirus and stuff. But it could also might present a short right now. So I pull up a clean chart, or well, relatively clean chart. We'll give it a look. So I do see this this trend line kind of coming into play. Oh, TradingView always likes to lag. Okay. Okay, so we're kind of in a pennant pattern, kind of. Just drawing my zones. And all chart work will be sent on my Telegram. Do not worry, guys. So let's give that a look. How does that look for you guys? I'm just gonna stop moving the mouse. You can draw this. This is on the weekly time frame, by the way. Big G Dub, what's up? Hey, he's been catching small moves on gold since nice. How many pips this month? The first week was amazing. First week was kind of slow. I think we only entered like 2 trades. That was around 80 pips. The second week was, I think, break even. Last week was 400. This week was around 500. So pretty solid. I think a good estimate would probably be around 900 to 1,000, which is not bad. Considering the first week was a wash, since the markets are just getting back into it. Anyways, I think I see a short. To me personally, let me know. Actually, share your chart work if you could, so I can give it a look. But I do see a short. Just even on the weekly time frame. Now might be actually a pretty good place to enter. Just gotta find the fib retrace, and we could have a pretty solid setup. So this is the 2 levels that I've drew, 3 levels actually. So this resistance region right here, which we are kind of technically coming off of. This weekly support down here, you can see right here, and then this weekly support over here. So that's what I see going to the 4 hour. Let's see if we can get an entry. And so just trying to draw a trend line. Okay, so I think I can see why you're thinking long, and it actually makes sense. So as you guys can see on the 4 hour, I drew a pretty solid trend line that's connecting these points, and there is a chance that we could, if we pop up back up above here, we could make a rally to maybe these highs. So yeah, I do see that long bias, and I think the coronavirus I do think the coronavirus ordeal might help us out. So if this is what your chart work looks like, that's awesome. So if it's also different, that's fine. But share that. So I think that's what I see. I'm gonna save this just so we can refer to it next week. So yeah, next week we potentially have a long on Swiss yen, a continued short on Aussie dollar, and what is next? USD CAD. We'll take a look at USD CAD. Austin Copanza, what's your thoughts on NAS? If you analyze this, I think you're talking about the NASDAQ. Please let me know if that's what we're talking about. So oil, someone asked for oil, and then USD CAD. So we'll take a look at USD CAD. Yeah, so USD CAD is really knocking on that door. So if you guys remember, this was the Bank of Canada statement up here. where we made that push, and we were eyeing a re-entry to go long up to here, guys. But USD CAD has just been pushed down below to even get above there. So next week we could also look for maybe close above this blue region to go higher. I don't think right now we're going to get it, especially with the week coming to a close. And on the daily candle, we have printed a few inverted hammers / teardrop candles. So that's looking a bit suspect to me, but very simple. I'll plot the long idea so you guys can see the type of risk to reward involved. And it seems like a solid setup. 2.56. All we need is that bullish body closure. Either a bullish hammer or an engulfing candle. Can take us back to 1.33500. And this will also be sent on Telegram, so you guys can have a record. And each session is posted within an hour on our portal in case you do miss it, or if it's moving too fast. So that's a good setup for next week as well. Someone asked for US oil. Chat's pretty active today, actually. That's crazy. So US oil, we were eyeing a maybe a long yesterday. If we got the closure above, we didn't get it, and now oil is just slipping lower. It's actually pretty crazy how much it slipped. We actually caught this huge sell from up here, and so we caught this big move, and now we just we were out of the trade since then. But I guess the next place for oil is probably this line right here. 50.29 per barrel would be the most probable area for the next push down. See the 1 hour. Oh, the 1 hour has a pretty good entry point. Too bad it's a Friday, but I would enter this now if it was a Monday. So your stop loss would be somewhere above here, and then your take profit will be down here. 1.68 is not bad, especially for oil, because it tends to move in pretty straightforward patterns. If you can see, it makes nice higher highs and higher lows, and then lower highs and lower lows. It does that. Rarely does it act out of a character unless there's some news involved, but this could be a potential setup for next week. We do have Brexit later, so I don't want to get anyone to enter anything now, but definitely something we'll eye in. I'll actually put in an alert so we get notified on Sunday if we do push lower. So this is the alert I'm sending, 51.28 crossing down, and you can choose if you want SMS or email. So I'll save this as well, and I think that'll be that for today's session in terms of pairs. If there's any last minute pairs, let me know. I think someone wanted me to see the NASDAQ. I don't really look at the NASDAQ, if we're being honest. But we can give it a look. I mean, the NASDAQ, the thing about NASDAQ and most stocks that are reputable, they're usually trending upwards and nothing but upwards. They may have segments of of sell-offs, but I mean the NASDAQ's been on a roll, and you can thank Trump for that. Ridiculous all-time highs. In terms of technicals, I mean I think you should just follow the fundamentals, mainly the GDP for the U.S., also the earning reports for the big five companies, as well as unemployment and NFP. So NFP should be your best friend if you're trading the NASDAQ. I'm in a few stocks right now, but I don't analyze them technically. I just enter based on valuation. And so stocks is a bit different. There is a way to trade them technically, and it's similar to Forex, but usually, more often than not, you're looking for buys. And so if you're in the NASDAQ or you're thinking of buying, now is actually a pretty good time to buy, considering we're kind of making a small retrace before we go lower. Before we go higher. So Yeah, so just a recap of the offers that are ending in 12 hours. Very quickly, the first one is a yearly trading membership. This is for the trading room for $397. This includes all the live sessions, 5 signal providers, around 5,000 pips per month on 75% accuracy. You can't really beat that unless you go with this offer, which is just ridiculous for the amount of value you're getting. A lifetime membership for $997, less than 1,000 to get sessions for life, signals, etc. Support all through Forex Lens. So it's going to be a pretty dope offer, these two that are only going to be around for 12 more hours. So don't miss your opportunity. If you have a friend that's looking to get in on this, make sure you remind them, because it's going to end at 12 a.m. Eastern, so 12 midnight, which is technically 12 hours from now. So guys, make sure you sign up for these offers. And if you're a newcomer and you're not ready to commit long term, we do have 50% off your first month. And to get that, just go to forexlens.com, and at the bottom of your screen you have the ability to chat with Allison, and she'll hook you up, and that offer will be valid for the entire year. So get in on that as well. We do have a few solid setups for next week, and so I think next week will also be a great week. But this week, around 500 pips. I'll do an official pip count and update it on our site, and you guys can check it out there. So if there's any last minute remarks, let me know now. Yep, have a great weekend, Edward. Hope you had a profitable week, and also some new people. So I'll see you guys Monday, where we host another free session, and hopefully I get to see some new faces and you guys take advantage of the offers. So peace, have a great weekend.